Welcome to an episode of the Delco Nerd Network podcast, Beyond County Lines edition. And here, I'm your host, Anthony Ragucci, and here with a friend from Beyond County Lines, we jump on a Discord call, we talk about a certain topic. Today's topic is going to be working at GameStop with my good friend, Ryan Fitzgerald. Ryan, thanks for being here. Not like you have a choice, because you're stuck in your house.
I know. It's terrible. I'm so ready to get out.
So before we jump into the topic, I'd like to kind of talk about how we met and where you actually are located. And I feel like recently we've just been randomly discussing this as we've forgotten where we met. But I'm pretty sure we're correct on this. We met playing Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag. Yeah, I know. Weird game to meet somebody on, getting achievements.
Yeah, I think we were playing Wolfpack now that we talked about it recently.
Wolfpack?
Yeah.
What was that again? Remind me.
It was that CPU game mode where you could just kill enemies together.
Yeah, I was gonna say I remember it being like a co-op game mode.
Yeah. And
then we've been battling and competing for Gamerscore ever since.
Yeah, who's still in the lead?
You, because you're a whore. Are you currently playing AC Black Flag on the Xbox 360 to get achievements?
It was only because it's on my history.
Do I need to say anything more?
No, you got me there. All right.
So, and you're in the suburbs of St. Louis, Missouri, right?
Yeah, we're in St. Louis County.
Oh, okay, cool. So yeah, I usually with each guest I was like, how far away from me are you? And I think the farthest is New Mexico, who was my first guest. So you're the second farthest. This is the third episode. Second guest was in like right outside Pittsburgh, so he's the closest. And my first guest was in. He's not near Albuquerque. He's in New Mexico. I forget exactly where, but you're the second. So how do you feel?
Pretty far. I feel honored, just absolutely honored.
So, today we're going to be talking about your employment, your career, if you want to call it that, at GameStop.
5 years. 5 years.
When did you start and when did you end?
Whew, that's a tough question.
It does not feel like you worked at GameStop for 5 years. I mean, I've known you for like 5 years, but like it doesn't feel like that. Continue.
I know, it's crazy. I worked there, I think, and I could be wrong, but I want to say from like 2014 to roughly 2018. I want to say.
Give or take.
Yeah. I think they started me in 2013, late 2013, but it was not.
Were you what is the lowest rank at a GameStop? Like what were your positions or were you the same thing?
I was the lowest rank the entire time, and it's a GA. It's
a game advisor? Game associate?
Yeah.
Game advisor.
Yeah, that's the lowest rank.
Okay.
Well, I was gonna get promoted, but it never happened.
Top level thoughts. How did you like working at GameStop? I feel like the idea of working at GameStop without having any preconceived notions of it seems like a very cool idea. But in fact, everyone at GameStop talks about how shitty it is.
Okay, so it really depends on the store you work at, because I worked at Telegraph for 2.5 years, and then that closed down, and then they switched me to Arnold for the rest. And like I loved Telegraph so much. Arnold
is that a location?
A different story. Yeah, I'm sorry, different location.
It's okay. It's okay. Story. I figured.
Yeah, no, I loved the first store I worked at so much, because it was just like we were literally a tight knit family. We hung out and went to see movies after GameStop hours closed, and then when that closed down and we got transferred, it was a different story, because I'm not gonna get into it, but my manager actually found a political view of mine, and he completely just like discriminated hardcore. Not like in a bad way, but just like completely roasted me the entire time. And I'm pretty sure some of them didn't like me at that point. So it was really interesting.
That's interesting.
It was, but I had a good time. I mean, it was a fun time. And then at the very end, one of my next up managers got the store, and he's currently worked there, and we are tight knit. Like, he's so cool. He's such a cool guy. Shout out to Casey if anybody's watching.
Well, that's good. I know we've talked about it like in conversation, and I was gonna say I never remembered you like really being like, fuck, GameStop sucks.
No, it was a good time. Like, I had a blast. And you really have to like just enjoy it because you can get some really crappy customers.
Oh, I bet. Like parents mostly, I assume.
More like those guys who come in and their games smell like cigarettes and they like.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh no!
They hang in there for like hours. It's like, and they sit there and talk to you about games that you've never heard of, and you're just like, dude, I don't care.
I feel like sometimes when I go into GameStop, that's out you know me. I'm in and out. I go in there because I know what I want. I'm not just going like any gamer nowadays. You know, anyone who's playing video games and like you're not walking into a GameStop to just browse. That is
Right.
that is not a thing for, I would say, 87% of people who walk into a GameStop.
Absolutely.
There is that 13% though. That are like, yeah, I'm gonna browse GameStop right now. But you know, and then the GameStop employee kind of like starts shooting the shit with me. I'm cool with like a cool conversation, but sometimes it's like, all right, like I want to leave, man. Like we're done. The transaction's over. I don't mind it to a degree, and it's usually it's just when I'm like walking out, I'm like, all right, I want to leave.
Well, it's different with my store now because like Casey has literally known me since I worked at GameStop at the start almost. And so like I like talking to him. He's a good friend at this point, and I just hang out with him for a minute before I go. So it's a little different now, but
the GameStop, so there was a GameStop that I went to like most of my life until it closed down, and there was this manager, and he's notorious. Like everyone knew who he was. His name was Ed, and he actually he probably is still working at GameStop, for God only knows. But he would like go pretty much through like all the stores like in the area. I think he became like a pretty high up manager. But like everyone knew who this guy was, and like going to GameStop as a kid like definitely had those good memories. And then like obviously like as you get older and as the industry has changed, it just kind of turned into a different thing. And even GameStop is like kind of reacting to that with opening those stores that are kind of, there's a term for it and I don't know it off the top of my head, but there's stores where like you can go in and like not just play games but like play board games, like a place to hang out more or less.
Yeah, I saw some of those.
Oh really?
No, not in person, but
oh, like pictures.
Yeah.
What do you think about that? Because I know GameStop is not really doing well. And I feel like GameStop is definitely. Oh, did you what? What did I just do? No, hold on. I think it was me. There we go. I messed up the thing. I feel like GameStop is like kind of on its way out, and the coronavirus has not helped that at all.
It's not helping. Well, did you see the head of Nintendo came over to it?
Reggie, yeah.
Yeah, Reggie. He's trying to get it back on board, and then coronavirus hit. So
he is on there. So just to fill you in, Reggie retired from Nintendo, so he was not working with Nintendo for about a year. But he's on their board of directors, which means he shows up for like those occasional big meetings, and he makes those like high tier decisions.
I thought he completely stepped down. I didn't know that.
No, he doesn't work in Nintendo, period. But he's like, yeah. So Reggie shows up to a meeting every few months is probably what that title means. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. It definitely can't be a bad thing, but it's just like, what can save GameStop at this point? And I don't think the answer is anything. I don't think GameStop can be saved. No matter what you do, you turn these stores into like hangout places. Like I don't think it's gonna like, maybe that'll just delay the inevitable, but what do you think? As somebody who worked there, do you think that's a good idea?
I think it'll bring in a little more revenue, but like not the amount they need at this point.
Yeah.
It would have been a fun idea when I worked there, but it also would have been like something I was not interested in doing all the time.
Right, because I mean, if it, that is asking a lot of like your employer base, like, oh, like you're not just there like selling games anymore. Mind you, like you're in charge of like whoever's in there, and like they may be hanging out all the time, so it kind of like adds this pressure to you as an employee. Like, oh, it's like I can imagine there were like days where you pretty much sat in that store and like there was like one person every few minutes, or if that.
Yeah,
right?
my first location was so bad. Like we would go hours sometimes without seeing a customer. We watched full movies sometimes.
I mean, and it just makes sense. I mean, like you're going to buy a game, you're in and you're out. And if you're like, like unless you're, again, like we made a joke about it. I don't think we were recording, but like the mom walking in and buying game shirts on. That is like the only chance to like, okay, like this person probably is browsing and this kid probably has an idea with what he wants, but like you're really gonna sell this mom whatever the hell you want.
Yeah. Honestly, it's really the lingerers. Like the lingerers come in and they will ruin it.
What do you mean?
They just hang out so long. Like and some parents will drop their kids off while they go shopping, and like there would be kids that would hang out there all the time, like
oh
for
yeah,
like hours.
Yeah, I did that as a kid. I don't know about you.
I would go in there, like if I was at the mall or something, and like look at stuff on my own, but not because my parents dropped me off.
No, my parents never dropped me off, but like sometimes like we'd go, so we'd like bike up to the shopping center and we'd like hang out outside or in the GameStop. We never like got in trouble about it, but like we definitely did it.
And the moms that come in and don't know what they want, it's fine because usually they want the newest like
right. It's easy to sell. Like they're looking for you to tell them what to get.
Like, I guarantee you if a mom comes in right now and says they want Modern Warfare, like, you're not going to hand them Call of Duty 4. You're going to hand them Modern Warfare 2019.
Right. How was working holidays? Was that like one of, like, you enjoyed it, the GameStop, as you said, but was that, like, definitely, like, one of the worst things? Because I remember the Black Fridays, you'd tell me.
Yeah, Black Fridays were pretty insane. I would stand at the cash register all day long, like not just constantly ringing people out. I remember one Black Friday I was actually able. So you know how we have to sell the PowerUp cards when I worked there.
Yeah.
You know the PowerUp cards are a major thing we have to sell. I got like 20 something in one day. It was insane.
Are they hard to sell?
It depends on what the person's buying. So if they were trading in a console and buying a bunch of pre-owned games, like it would be like $2 for them to sign up for a year, and I would say, listen, you can't miss out on this deal, and that would be easy. But if somebody came in to buy a new game, it's like, hey, you're not going to save anything today, but in the future when you buy pre-owned games, it's like it's not working out.
I still have my PowerUp rewards. I'm sure you do too.
Oh,
I don't even go to GameStop that much anymore. I'm really buy my games exclusively on Amazon.
If it wasn't for my old manager who constantly like lets me know when a high pre-order goes up, like Doom Eternal for that instance, like I wouldn't probably go from GameStop, but I just respect him so much that like he takes care of me, everything.
Right, and you got friends and like, you used to that's the store you used to work at, right? Or one of them.
I worked at it.
Yeah, so I mean, and it kind of makes sense. It's not like weird or anything. But like I just don't like, for me, going to GameStop and pre-ordering there, like, just doesn't make any sense. I save money on Amazon, and by the time I'm done work, my copy's already at my house, ready to go. I don't have to go to GameStop.
Oh, it always arrives the day of. See, I like the midnight launches before.
I liked midnight launches. I feel you. I 100% get what you're saying. But when 7 people show up to a midnight launch, it's not really fun anymore.
Well, no, it's not about that. It's about getting your game the night before.
Yeah, but like, dude, I'm in bed by 11. It is rare. I'm up and like doing things at midnight. I'm usually in bed between 11 and 12.
Do you remember when they used to be on Monday nights instead of Thursday nights?
I mean, they were, yeah. Yeah, I do. I would all the midnights I went to were on Monday nights.
Yeah,
I don't know
never
when
on
we
Tuesday,
decided that
Thursdays.
Friday was the game to release day, the day to release games, but you know, I don't know.
Yeah, neither do I.
I mean, that's one thing I really enjoyed about GameStop. I loved going to midnights. I loved the atmosphere. The last big midnight I was at, and I'd love to hear about your experiences with was Halo 4. Was the last. Actually, no, I'm gonna take that back.
That was a while ago.
It was Fallout 4 and Rise of the Tomb Raider. Fallout 4 was the last big midnight I went to. But Fallout 4 and then Halo 4 right behind it. They were the last two.
I'll tell you what was insane was actually Modern Warfare last year. Like there was a lot of people there. Like easily like 40 or 50.
That's a good turnout.
Yeah, but that's a long time ago. Fallout 4, what was that? 2015?
15? Yeah, I would say 15 into 16. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I actually worked that midnight launch.
I think I didn't go there for Fallout. No. Did I? No, I didn't. I went there to get Rise of the Tomb Raider, but I was getting Fallout 4 from GameStop for my Pip-Boy edition that was getting shipped to me.
Yeah, I was going to say, you got the Pip-Boy edition, so you had to wait on that one.
Yeah, I did. But I got Rise of the Tomb Raider. So.
Well, last 2 Thursdays ago, they were about to have their midnight launch, but then they just released Doom the entire day. So, like, I went there Thursday.
Yeah. So, I kind of... we'll switch into that gear in a second. What do you have any good, like, midnight release memories, experiences? Anything bad or good? I'd be interested to hear.
I would say two that come to mind. When I first started at GameStop, like 2 months in, we had a guy there, and he was the younger brother of a guy who used to work there. So like he got in because of his brother.
Right.
And it was when Arkham Origins was dropping. I don't remember what games were dropping with it, but they literally released Arkham Origins, and he threw away a box with 11 copies in it.
Whoa. Is that like a big deal? I mean, that's a lot of money. That's what?
That's a big deal. So
60 times 11, is that like $600? Around there?
Something around there, yeah.
Yeah. I can't do math. Yeah.
Literally, that night they went, like, we stayed extra because they had to go dumpster diving and they found the copies, and then they had to like Windex them and make them clean again. Oh my God. Did he get fired? No, because we found him. If we didn't find him, he would have definitely gotten fired.
Yeah, that's a pretty big... Were those copies, like, they were the only 11 you had? Like...
They were the only 360 versions we had.
Do you get, like... When GameStop gets pre-orders, do they get, like, an insane surplus or no?
It depends on the game. So, like, with Arkham Origins... We got 11 copies, and let's say 6 were on pre-order. We put those in the drawer, and then the 11 copies or the 5 copies we have left are what we can sell, and then if we run out, we have to wait till next shipment.
And then what was the other story?
The other one, hold on. Oh, was Fallout 4. It was just such a good vibe. Like literally, I brought in glass Coca-Cola bottles to represent Nuka-Cola. We had Fallout music playing, and everybody was just so excited because prior to Bethesda's fall, that was a pretty anticipated game.
It was. It very much was, dude. And like that's exactly what I liked about the midnights. Like sometimes I remember hearing stories of like the GameStop would buy pizza and stuff, and they would do all this stuff. But it's just like now you go there. Like I haven't been to a midnight. Let me see if I can, like, I don't even remember what last game I got at GameStop. I know I pre-ordered Dishonored, you know? Holy shit. Maybe the last game I got at GameStop was Death of the Outsider. Because I had I had a GameStop gift card, and it was $30, so I just put it right down on there. I didn't pick that up at midnight, though. But, like, yeah, now midnights are just, like, you show up and, like, you wait around the store, and I'm just like...
Well, my store actually makes you wait outside now.
I mean, they would kick you out if there were a certain amount of people. It depended. Oh no, wait, bullshit. I went for Kingdom Hearts 3. I bought 2
copies of that so I could get the collector's edition and the midnight launch.
Yeah. Yeah, I have 2 copies of Kingdom Hearts for that reason. Yeah, I wanted that game. I got at midnight, so that was a year ago. So yeah, I forgot because it's just like I don't go there much anymore. That midnight wasn't that big though. We were all in the store for that.
No,
we didn't.
That wasn't big. That was a small one.
But like everyone there was like fucking, you know, it's Kingdom Hearts. You know,
Exactly.
as we both have Keyblades in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it was hype, but like they're just like it's really like Call of Duty. I've gotten games the same night Madden comes out. Madden is always fucking packed when I went to midnights like in August, right? Were your Maddens big?
I feel like there was always a game releasing with Madden.
Right, and that's why I was there for the game, not Madden. Like Gears Ultimate Edition came out one year, and I was just like waiting outside, and like everyone was getting Madden, and I was getting Gears.
I remember a big one was, for some reason, Assassin's Creed Unity. It was Borderlands the pre-sequel and Rogue. So it was all 3 launching in the same night. That was a pretty big one because it was 3 different games.
Mm-hmm. Trying to think. Yeah, like Fallout 4 Rise of the Tomb Raider was coming out too. I think I've only been to a midnight where there was only 2 games coming out. It's been so long.
Did you pick up your Xbox One at midnight?
Yes, I did. Yeah, not many people
that
though.
Was a fun midnight launch. Really?
Yeah.
There was a lot of people.
We were all in the store. I remember it. Because I got a bunch of shit. And I don't think I'm like gonna pre-order next generation's consoles at GameStop. Like I think I'll just get it on Amazon. I guess. I don't know.
$300 sitting at GameStop ready to go. So as soon as they go up, they can pre-order. Because I don't want to take the chance of missing it. Do you remember the Xbox One's production?
Yes.
Like they canceled the pre-orders for a while.
Yeah, I remember. I had them on call, and I have a story about that. I was going from one class to another in college, freshman year. It's probably November, or actually October, maybe September. And I get a call from GameStop, and he's like, we have copies. And like from class, I went straight to GameStop, and I pre-ordered it. And then I traded in all my 360 games, which was the worst decision of my life.
I can't believe you did that.
Not all of them. Majority of them. That was such a mistake. Such a mistake.
I still have them all sitting right there.
Such a mistake. Don't trade in your games. It's not worth it.
I would never trade. The only games I'm trading in are the Lego games because there's just too many now. There's too many.
So going back to the point earlier that we were talking about, GameStop has kind of been in the news with this whole coronavirus thing. How do you feel about the fact that if you were working at GameStop, you were an essential employee?
I think it's kind of cool because no, literally, listen, hear me out. There was a surge. I look at the statistics yesterday. There's like 180% increase in games sold in the past month.
I bet. I don't doubt that for a fucking second.
That's crazy. And so literally they are, I think, and they're doing it smart. They're like doing curbside service and you have to order it online.
I can understand that, but when GameStop makes a press statement saying like, oh, like we're going to be open through this, and like they did release Doom and Animal Crossing on different days just so they can minimize people's reaction, which I think is a good idea, but like I'm like, why do you have to have the store open? Like, again, yeah, curbside pickup. Like, why wasn't that it from the start? Like, all you have to do is call people, be like, hey, like, you know, Resident Evil 3 came out yesterday. Hey, we're doing curbside pickup. We noticed you have a pre-order. This is your time slot to come in to get the game. You know, and like, okay, and like if you show up, we'll, you know, confirm your receipt and we'll give you the game and you're good to go. Like, I feel like it's easy for GameStop to do something like that, but they had to get flack for it before they made that decision.
Well, and I think it's funny how they deemed themselves essential, and also
right. It's a little ridiculous.
I'm kind of biased though because I want my old manager, to thrive. Like I want his numbers to soar, and so I messaged him like a week ago. I was like, "How's business doing?" He's like, "Business is actually booming." And I was like, "Well, that's freaking awesome."
Because everyone's home,
I'm
and
kind of exactly.
Animal Crossing is probably doing great. People are. I think it's pretty hard to get a Switch right now. Doom Eternal just came out. Resident Evil 3 came out today. Final Fantasy 7 is next week. But after that, like, you know, Uncharted. Last of Us 2 is already delayed. I feel like
Delayed till indefinitely.
Indefinitely.
There's not even a date. My gosh, dude.
I feel
That's
like
crazy.
after Final Fantasy VII Remake is going to be interesting because all those games that were coming out are not happening anymore. Remember when this season was packed? Remember that? We had Cyberpunk, Avengers,
Cyberpunk.
Last of Us.
I forgot that was.
Those were the big ones. And now Ghost of Tsushima, like, is probably going to get delayed. Like, it was right in line with, I mean, it's a month later. Maybe they don't. Like, I hope we're good by the time June hits. Fuck, I don't even want to be here the rest of the month.
If it's, like, that close, I don't think it's going to get delayed, but I could be wrong. I don't know how long it takes to distribute, so.
I think that's it. I mean, mind you, like, Last of Us 2 has to be, like, pretty much done. Has to be.
They said it. They said all they're doing at this point is working out bugs. Like, literally, that's
yeah,
what they said.
but the delay is realistically because the world is in a weird state, which I understand.
They said they wanted to release it, to their standards. Like, they want to be able to release it regular.
Right, and I can understand that. I'm not upset because they pre-ordered it or delayed it, but it's just like, okay, like, what happens to Ghost of Tsushima? Is PlayStation 5 going to get delayed? Like, what is all that stuff kind of feeds?
I guarantee you the consoles are going to be delayed to 2021. I put my money on it.
I have a feeling it's going to be early. They haven't released dates, so they can delay it, and you'll never know. I mean, they did say it would be this year, but
if they put it out, there's going to be limited quantity, I guarantee. Like, there's going to be a hindrance with the new consoles, which is upsetting because I'm excited about the Series X.
Yeah. I mean, Xbox, you know, that's been a question too. There was a rumor this week about Halo 5 or Halo Infinite being delayed. I don't know if you saw that.
I heard there was trouble in the studio, is what they said, or something.
And it's just like, yeah, because everyone's working from home. Of course, there's fucking trouble. Of course, they're not. Yeah, like, of course, every game developer right now, games that haven't been announced are probably going to be delayed because you're working from home and you're not as productive. Of course. But it's just like, okay, like, if they delay Halo Infinite, are they delaying Series X?
Yes.
Yeah, I would agree.
They
can't launch it without it.
Console without Halo being a launch title.
Yeah, I agree.
There's no question.
And it's just like, yeah, but if say it's on time, like, are people going to be able to get their hands on this console? And like, if it's not through Amazon, like, are all your retailers like struck out? Best Buy, Walmart, GameStop, what happens then with those retailers?
It really depends on what happens in the next 3 months.
Yeah, I think we're okay to a certain degree. I think I want to say by May we're gonna be. I hope by my birthday, which is the 25th of this month. I fucking swear to God, if we're still like locked down this hard, I'm not gonna be happy. I want to be back to work like by the end of the month. I really hope. I don't want to go into May and everything kind of still be like it is right now. Because it is getting worse every day, which sucks.
It is. It's not getting better, and I don't know why.
And then,
like, technically speaking, we're week 2 in quarantine in a lot of areas.
Oh, I'm week 3.
It should be.
Yeah, I'm week 3.
Going down. It should be going down.
Yeah, but well, they're saying it's just like we haven't even hit the peak, and I'm just like, what do you mean? Like, what? I don't know if you watch the news, but the news is depressing. I don't recommend turning it on.
I watch newscasts or podcasts on YouTube. That's how I get my news source.
Interesting. So one of the things I was going to mention was GameStop also reporting that they're closing down 300 stores. Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw that.
And I wasn't sure. I was like, is that coronavirus related or is that just normal?
Probably a little both. Literally.
I have the same feeling. I'm pulling up the article real quick.
Yeah. There's a store inside South County Mall, which is like my county, and then right outside the mall there's another store, and it's like, that's just, I guess if they both drive sales, I don't know. I'm not.
Yeah,
drinks at your bars, gathered round your tables.
There's an ad playing. Sorry. Like I can count on like one hand how many GameStops have closed around me, like over the years. This is like over 10 years, and it's like at least 5.
There are so many. There's just so many. You don't need that many.
You don't, but like it's just like I feel like the snowball is just getting bigger and bigger and bigger as it goes down this hill.
I'm just happy I don't work there anymore.
Yeah. Because it's just like, yeah, what, you know, I would be interested to even talk to somebody who's like, yeah, I work at GameStop and like right now, and I'm, you know, what's it like even working there? It's like, what's the, because I don't know if you heard that like GameStop employees were given this like letter to like, oh, call corporate, like you can't kick it, like to like, hey, like you should be closed, like you're non-essential, like you need to be closed, like by order of the government.
I wouldn't be surprised if the government shut GameStop down.
Well, Tom Wolfe took GameStop's bill of sale away for Pennsylvania. I don't know if you. Yeah, he took it away. He closed them.
I didn't know that.
I don't really know if he put it back. I think he did, but he literally like took their company's bill of sale away and was like, "You can't be open," because they were just open and they were like, "All right, well, I'll do something about it."
Isn't Best Buy still open though too?
No, they were that first week, but I know somebody who works at Best Buy and they're down to curbside pickup, and that's it.
Okay.
Which is what it should be, you know?
Yeah. I don't know. If I was working at GameStop at this time, it would be really boring inside the store because literally you'd be sitting there all day long.
Running games out to people's cars in a hazmat suit.
If you're the lowest of the low, you have to alphabetize the shelves. You know how horrible that is?
No, I don't.
It takes so long, dude. And you get tired of it. Just constantly alphabetizing. It's the worst.
Oh, look, here's all the Wii U games that never get bought, all down at W.
Yeah.
Wii Sports.
And then there's the bins, and they wanted you to alphabetize the bin. It's like, dude.
It's like, dude.
There's like 1,000 games in here. What do you mean you want me to alphabetize these?
Well, it's good to hear you relatively that GameStop wasn't a total shit show for you. Because
the biggest thing I didn't like was how we had to sell things that I know customers didn't want.
Like what?
Like a GPG.
What is that?
A gameplay guarantee. It's you pay $3 and
fuck that. Yeah.
For if your disc gets scratched or break. And like you're supposed to get a certain amount of numbers every week. So like you have to get PowerUps rewards, like sell a certain amount of cards. You have to sell a certain amount of pre-owned. You have to take a certain amount of trade, which is out of your control. And then you have to also pre-order things.
Pre-orders, I assume, are pretty easy. Just depends on what's coming out.
Pre-orders are easy, but what sucks is when you push them really hard, then the people realize they don't want the game, and then you get cancellation, and it goes down. Like there was times people were negative. That's
what I hated, like within recent years of walking into GameStop and I'm pre-ordering a game, and this guy has to look at my account and how much I'm in there and how much I'm buying, and he's like trying to sell me everything he can. I'm just like, can you, like trust me, if I want it, I'm gonna ask for it.
Exactly.
Like I am not the person you need to do that for.
And
it just gets annoying.
Like know that it does get annoying, and us employees knew that, but
yeah,
our
of course,
managers wanted us to sell it. So
right, you have to hit quotas and numbers, and it's not necessarily about that.
Yeah, and literally, like there's the 4 pitches of the PowerUp card, which was 15% off all pre-owned items, 15% more when you trade in, the Year of Game Informer magazine, and like special deals that would come.
That's literally why I have it. The Game Informer.
I did. I was so tired of getting Game Informers that I just nixed it completely.
I kind of collect them. I haven't actually read them in a while. I used to read them like front to cover or cover to.
Oh, I haven't gotten that
cover.
in a while. That's kind of weird.
What you still?
I used to have.
You might be
used to
digital.
have a collection like this.
You might have got swapped over to digital like I did once, and you have to go in and like, no, I want it physical.
Well, I really don't care. They could do whatever they want with it. I don't need it anymore. The only thing I enjoyed was like the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Oh
Those
yeah.
were fun.
Yeah, that section. We were talking about something, and I had another point. You're talking about pre-ordering or hitting. Yeah. So, what were some other things that you just like had to sell that you didn't? Like, do you have to sell like your Funko Pops and your T-shirts and shit?
Oh, dude, anything it's really pushed that anything related to the game. So like when game strategy books used to be a thing, literally like you would have to push that and the season pass down their throat. Like if they were coming in to buy a copy of Call of Duty, you'd be like, listen, I know you're gonna want the DLC later on. I need you to spend the $50 now and knock it out, or else you'd have to pay $60 later on. And like just
Yeah.
And the strategy guides, do you know how hard a strategy guide is to sell?
Oh,
Nobody wants a freaking book.
No. I could only, the only game is the RPGs would be easy to like be like, hey, like Skyrim, Fallout. I'm sure those games are easy to pick strategy guides for.
Those are better, but like Call of Duty strategy guides, like, here's the map layouts.
Yeah.
Nobody wants that.
I don't even know what strategy guides they make anymore. They didn't make one for Kingdom Hearts 3.
No, they're the company, Prima or whatever they are.
Piggy Bank?
Business. The last strategy guide they made, I think, was Red Dead Redemption 2.
Really?
Or it might have been actually no, it was Fallout 76. It was Fallout 76.
They made a strategy guide game for that? No way.
Yeah, I have it. I bought the last. It was the last one, so I was like, all right, I'll take it.
I don't think it's Prima. I think it's called Piggy Bank. I think they're the same company though. Cause like all my Final Fantasy guides, I have one for 15, and it was like I think it's Piggy Bank.
I have some OG Kingdom Hearts strats. I have
Piggy Bank.
I have 358/2.
I don't have 358/2. I have all the Kingdom Hearts games though. Piggy Bank strategy.
I traded in.
Am I high? No, I'm right. It is piggyback.
I'm telling you, all of mine say Prime Games on the side of them.
Well, it used to be like Brady Games. Hold on, I'm looking at pictures of video game strategy guides. Piggyback.
I have a Timefall strategy guide.
No fucking way. Why?
I do. Because at the time I had a lot of points. I would just use my points.
And I bet they threw that shit away all the time.
Oh, dude. Do you know how many strategy guides I got because it pennied out? Like, I got so many strategy guides because they pennied out.
What does pennied out mean?
It means the value is, like, not worth purchasing anymore. It's, like, worth, like, 1 cent. So, literally, like, they throw them away. And, like, at my old store before it closed, they would let me take home strategy guides if I didn't like pirate them, obviously.
if you were being a nice little boy that day.
I was like, guys, I'm a collector. I promise you, I'm not gonna go try and sell this. Like this is awesome.
I'd probably do the same if I was in your position. Certain games, I'd be like, yeah, I'll take that. I'll take that strategy guide. Like, why not?
Dude, any strategy guide, I sucked it up. I got some really really weird ones.
Like what?
Like I have a strategy guide to Thief.
You know how I feel about that game. That is Trio loves to tell me that Thief is the game of the year for that year as a joke. It's just a joke. But I hate it, and like it's just become an inside joke because he likes it and I don't.
Wasn't that 2013?
Oh, I can't even see it. 14 has to be. It came out the year the Xbox came out.
No, you're right. You're right. It was 14. It was 14.
Yeah. It was like that spring or May, April.
Yeah. And I was all excited because I was like, you know what? New console, new game. Let's get it. And I liked it. I enjoyed it. I don't know.
Oh, I hated it. I fucking hated it.
You know, I originally I didn't understand the achievement at first for getting all the collectibles, so I thought I had to pick up like every little tiny piece too, not just the big ones. So I grabbed every fork and knife and spoon in that game. It was like 900 and something.
I thought it was cool. It just like wasn't executed well. Like it's like just a shitty version of Dishonored.
I never played Dishonored, so I don't know.
You're missing out. Second one's not good though, in my opinion. First one's great.
I will play it. I will play it. I'm working my way into my history. You know that. We're good there.
Yeah. Anyway, is there anything else you kind of want to say about GameStop or like closing thoughts?
There's a fun little story. I
Go for it.
My manager was like, "Hey, carry this trash can of stuff out to the dumpster." So it was like a summer afternoon, like it was chill, and this was like my first year. I literally went out, and there was just a bunch of like children. Like I threw something in the trash can, and all of a sudden I looked over, and there was a face looking at me from the dumpster, and I was like, "What are you doing?" And the kid literally straight up goes, "Oh, dumpster diving," and I was like, "Get out, dude!"
What did you pour on him?
I literally threw a bunch of cardboard boxes on him.
Oh,
Like
I thought I was imagining like a trash can full of strategy guys. Like,
no, like, dude, he was literally dumpster diving, and there was a bike, and
I know people who would dumpster dive GameStops. That's a thing, right?
Yeah, it is a thing. And my manager went out and was like, "Tell him we're gonna call the police." I was like, "Okay." So I went out there. I was like, "Get out! We're gonna call the police if you don't leave." And he's like, "Okay, I'm sorry. I'll leave." And they literally. Like,
what was he actually dumpster diving for? GameStop stuff or no?
Yeah, I get. Yeah, it was.
I never knew.
At the time, like other than like food, which I guarantee you he wasn't freaking diving for food. There was customers that would come in and they smelled so bad that literally like it would fill up the entire store, and we would literally sit there and like nauseate ourselves like for like straight up 30 minutes because they would hang out there all the time.
I can't remember that ever happening much at Regal or like somebody like stinking up a theater. I'm sure there were probably some smelly people. I'm fucking sure there was, but nothing that I remember.
But yeah, it was overall my GameStop experience was nowhere near what I see or hear online. It was a blast.
Right. I feel like there's really this like online, especially you just hear these like horror stories about people working at GameStop.
Yeah, and I never had anything like that. Like my managers, for the most part, were freaking awesome.
And
especially
like any young gamer's dream any young gamer's dream is to work at GameStop. Period.
They think it's like all about like just talking about games when in reality
it's so not. Yeah.
It's not at all.
Like as a first job, it probably could be pretty cool. I know I applied to GameStop plenty of times, and I even did a shift at GameStop once during busy season.
Oh, really?
And yeah, I had to have told you this. I got hired as seasonal help at GameStop. One shift, 3 hours. I worked at GameStop for 3 hours.
Did you get paid?
Yeah.
Okay, because I worked a shift at a mall for like 4 hours on Christmas Eve like 3 years ago, and I never got paid.
That's illegal.
I know, it was basically volunteer work.
I more or less, like, they were showing me the ropes, but it was like I came in there and like fucking ditzed around. Like they never called me back. I don't know. Like I didn't do anything wrong. They just never asked. I don't know. It was like in November.
I never interviewed to get a GameStop. They always just hired me.
I don't remember interviewing. I don't think I did.
Yeah, I feel like they skip it if they can.
Oh, like, you know what it was? They had my resume from some point. And they had just gave me a call, like out of the blue, and be like, "Hey, like we need people. Do you want to work?" And I was like, "Sure." I think I'd left Regal. I'm trying to think of when this was. Oh, I left Regal once, and I worked at this place, and then I left it, and I was unemployed for a little bit, and it was during that period I worked there.
I remember that period.
Yeah, and then I went back there. But it was during that period, and it wasn't. I wouldn't say the first shift was like anything fun.
Yeah, it's really not like. It's really not that fun. It's fun when customers aren't in the store. That's where it shines. Because when you're tight with the GameStop family, it's pretty great. But when you're not,
I mean, Regal
it's
was the
just like,
same way. On weekdays, like, dude, you didn't want to see one fucking person walk through that door.
yeah, you literally like don't want service. It's like, please.
Right, but during the days in movie theaters, like especially like not summers, like it was dead all the time. Not that I worked those shifts much because I was in school, or like some summer days were dead as fuck. But
They would, yeah, GameStop would always give me like shafty shifts. Like I would always get Friday or Saturday night. That's it. That's the only hours.
Saturday night sounded probably like just nothing.
Well, if there was no customer service, but I'm sitting there and I'm just like, man, it's a freaking Saturday night. And at the time, I was like,
it's a fucking Saturday night. I could be out on the town.
I wasn't adulting yet. Yeah, I wasn't adulting yet, so I could just live it up.
So I'm glad to hear that GameStop wasn't a total shit show for you. Now that we're diving deep into it, I didn't think it was, but I thought it would be interesting to bring you on, talk about your experiences, especially since GameStop is just like always in the news for negative things. So it's good to hear that you came out, good.
I think if you have a good manager, it really makes a difference there. Like I had 2 great managers and 1 decent manager, and I think that was the difference.
So before we end up, where can people find you, follow you, talk about Fitzgerald Productions?
They could find me at the Joker without an E, so JOKR 14 on Instagram. That's my main source for Fitzgerald Productions right now, or on Facebook, Fitzgerald Productions, and also YouTube, Fitzgerald Productions. It should be at the top. And
you made a video recently that I never watched.
Right? Yeah, it was my first short film. It was called Awaken in a Dream.
Yes, I gotta watch it. You put it out recently too, like a month or so ago, maybe 2 months.
December 15th.
Okay, it's like 3 months. I remember it's like 11 minutes because I remember it was like, oh, I'm not gonna do this right now because I don't have time, and I never got around to it. So I'll have to watch that this weekend.
Well, it was a first project, so it's rough, but the next one I'm working on right now, I'm pretty excited about, and
cool.
It's in pre-production, so that should be coming.
I know you pour a lot of time into this, so if anyone could go over check this shit out. You do have a video with 1 million views though.
5 million.
Oh, excuse me. Sorry.
Yeah. That's my crown jewel right now. We're working to make something on that level. Because really, we just threw that one together and it just went viral.
Yeah, you did that with your camp, right?
Yeah. It's a religious video. Fair warning to those watching.
Yeah. It's like a first-person crucifixion of Jesus, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I'm the one behind the camera. All the Call of Duty first-person skills.
Yeah, the look over and like you look and you're like, do one of these. Like,
yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, that has been the Delco Nerd Network podcast for today. You guys, if you're watching for the first time, thank you so much for tuning in live at twitch.tv/Delco Nerd Network, where we do all our podcasts live. But if you didn't watch live, you can find us at youtube.com. Just search Delco Nerd Network, as well as podcast services like Spotify, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, and some other weird ones. We're on most of them. Again, just search Delco Nerd Network. Any of this information can be found at our website, www.delconerdnetwork.com. For Ryan, I've been Gooch. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay nerdy.